Jeopardy! Are Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings being deliberate? Jeopardy! Fans have blasted hosts Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings for not properly enforcing the game show's rules. It has happened so much that viewers have begun to question whether or not they are doing it on purpose. As it turns out, there are some significant inconsistencies in recent judging choices. Final Jeopardy! Handwriting issues. In the final round of Jeopardy! Contestants have to write out their answers. However, Bialik and Jennings seem inconsistent in determining what is legible and what isn't. According to the official Jeopardy! Website, the responses during the final round don't have to be spelled correctly. They only need to be spelled phonetically correct, and you cannot subtract or add anything to the word/phrase. So, there technically isn't anything in the rulebook about handwriting. Fans haven't held back when criticizing Bialik and Jennings since they have taken on temporary co-hosting responsibilities. Because it is assumed that one of them will be taking the position permanently, viewers have let producers know what they think of each host loud and clear. This has been no different. Viewers were quick to hop in and criticize Bialik and Jennings' recent Final Jeopardy! Decisions. In 2 different episodes, there were hard-to-read answers given in the last round, but 2 very different decisions were made. Now, fans want to know why. Are Mayim and Ken being deliberate? One contestant, Sadie, lost Final Jeopardy! Because Bialik stated that her penmanship was not acceptable. It looks like you were going for Harriet Tubman, but you did not finish, so unfortunately that is not going to be acceptable, Bialik told the unfortunate contestant. Sadie agreed, and they went on. Many fans and even the winner that night did not agree with Bialik's decision. They found it to be legible and thought it was unfair to Sadie. The contestant who won tweeted after the show saying, "It's probably inappropriate for me to say anything about the judge's call in FJ yesterday, but we'll say I'd love to see Sadie compete again if she wants to." At the same time, Jennings made a very different call during Final Jeopardy! Another hard-to-read answer showed up during the final round. Jennings accepted the extremely difficult-to-read answer and verified that it was correct. His decision led to a rare tiebreaker round that doesn't occur very often. Jeopardy! This didn't count, but then this one did? One fan tweeted after the episode aired on Monday, "I think that Harriet Tubman is far more legible than whatever Erica has written." Another person wrote on Twitter, "Viewers accuse the host of purposefully accepting a badly written answer to force the tiebreaker challenge to make the show more exciting." Either way, no one agreed with the decision. While there isn't anything that would point to either judge being deliberate with these actions, it is clear that Jeopardy! Fans aren't happy. Do you think Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings are making these mistakes on purpose? Let us know what you think in the comments. Since the passing of the legendary Alex Trebek in 2020, Jeopardy! Has found itself in an unusually public identity crisis. More than just a game show, Jeopardy! Is an institution, a nightly ritual where intellect is king and the click of a signaling device can make or break a champion. For decades, Trebek's calm authority and understated wit served as its unshakable anchor. His absence left a vacuum so profound that even the brightest minds and biggest names have struggled to fill it. Into that vacuum stepped 2 unlikely co-hosts, Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings. But as fans and critics parse each decision and interaction with forensic precision, a new question has emerged. Are Bialik and Jennings being deliberate? The deliberate here doesn't just mean calculated, it means intentional, strategic, perhaps even quietly competitive. The pair's alternating hosting stints have created a landscape where the subtleties of tone, presence, and even fan engagement seem less incidental and more meticulously curated. For a show that prides itself on precision, could it be that its co-hosts are playing a deeper game? The unlikely co-hosts. On paper, Bialik and Jennings couldn't be more different. Bialik, an actress and neuroscientist, blends Hollywood charisma with a STEM-credentialed intellect. Known for her roles in Blossom and The Big Bang Theory, she brings a media-savvy polish to the podium. Jennings, on the other hand, is Jeopardy! Royalty, the most successful contestant in the show's history, a trivia titan whose encyclopedic knowledge earned him 74 consecutive wins and a revered place in pop culture. Where Bialik exudes polish and empathy, Jennings radiates quick-witted geek charm and reverence for the game's traditions. The decision to have both hosts alternate was, initially, pitched as a way to share the load and offer variety. But in practice, it's led to a fascinating study in contrasts, and to a divided fan base that has not been shy about declaring allegiances. And as both hosts settle into their roles, their approaches have started to feel less like casual differences and more like careful positioning. The deliberate styles. Mayim Bialik's hosting style leans into accessibility. She smiles often, softens the show's harder edges, and gives contestants warm, empathetic feedback. Her background in academia and television allows her to bridge gaps between complex material and mainstream appeal. Her wardrobe choices, her script's inflection points, even her social media messaging often emphasize inclusivity and approachability. There's a sense that Bialik is consciously modernizing the show's tone, making it friendlier for newer and more diverse audiences. Ken Jennings, by contrast, keeps his energy centered on gameplay. His delivery is snappier, drier, and often laced with subtle humor aimed at hardcore trivia aficionados. Jennings carries himself as a steward of Jeopardy's history, and his deep respect for the game's minutiae often appeals to longtime fans who worry about losing the show's intellectual rigor. His offhand quips and rapid-fire interactions with contestants hint at a deeper understanding of the rhythm and mechanics of play, something no doubt honed by his time behind the contestant podium. Both approaches are valid. Both resonate with different subsets of the audience. But are these distinct styles simply authentic reflections of personality, or carefully honed strategies designed to court different segments of Jeopardy's massive, multi-generational fanbase? The power of perception. Television is a medium where perception is everything. Whether consciously or unconsciously, hosts project images that shape audience expectations. Bialik's emphasis on accessibility aligns with Sony's efforts to modernize and diversify Jeopardy's appeal, expanding into primetime specials and celebrity editions. Jennings' appeal to legacy fans anchors the show's core demographic, the loyal viewers who've been tuning in nightly for decades. Their public personas also offer clues. Bialik is active on social media, often discussing not only Jeopardy, but also her podcast, mental health advocacy, and personal experiences. Jennings, on the other hand, maintains a steady Twitter presence where his sardonic humor and trivia deep cuts frequently land. Both seem to be deliberately cultivating distinct brands that complement but don't overlap. Then there's the matter of scheduling. While early reports emphasize flexibility, insiders and sharp-eyed fans have noted patterns. Jennings has been favored for flagship tournaments and milestone events, while Bialik often helms the celebrity specials and primetime segments. This division may not be accidental. It could be part of a deliberate strategy to test audience engagement across different formats. The fan divide. Perhaps nowhere is the sense of deliberateness more evident than in the fan discourse itself. Online forums, Reddit threads, and comment sections are filled with fierce debates over which host best embodies the spirit of Jeopardy. Jennings' loyalists argue that his deep connection to the game and sharp pacing make him the natural heir to Trebek's throne. Bialik supporters counter that her warmth, polish, and academic credentials modernize the show and broaden its appeal.